Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be walking through the process I went through in developing this tube mic. As a master engineer, I don't do much recording, but it's always fun to do the occasional recording project, so I try to keep a few mics around. This all started with a pair of custom mics I was fortunate enough to use on a number of sessions. This pair is owned by Ken Gores, and I know there are only a couple of pairs around. I started off by taking some pictures of the inside. At the time, I knew nothing about these mics. You can see that it's all point-to-point and not super complex, so I was able to trace it all out, including the power supply. Unfortunately, I knew nothing about the capsule or the transformer, and the caps had stickers on them covering up the values, so I had no idea what they were. I started doing some digging and was able to find the donor mic that the body was used from. It was a Marshall MXL 2001 mic, which is just an inexpensive mic that used to be sold around 20 years ago. While looking into this mic, I found something called the Royer mod. This was an article written by David Royer for modifying this specific mic. As it turned out, the Howard mic was just a variation of the Royer design. The Royer mod only keeps the body and the capsule, which is just a generic Chinese K67 capsule. As the article describes, the electronics are loosely based on a U47 design using a K67 or 87 style capsule. In addition to this, it uses a Jensen transformer. Royer was selling kits for this mod, so all you had to do was order the kit and then solder it all together. This was all before Dave founded Mojave Audio, and sure enough, Mojave's first product, the MA200 mic, was this exact mic in a more polished form. I ended up getting an MA200 so that I could compare it to my mic as I was developing it and see what kind of improvements I was getting. Comparing the MA200 to the Howard mic, the MA200 uses a printed circuit board and some much lower end caps. Other than that, everything else inside the mic is the same. The power supply of the MA200 is a little more complex than what was in the kit, but after comparing them, I found it didn't make much of a difference, so I stuck with the original circuit. You can see here one of the early prototypes for my version of this mic. I started out by drilling out a glass resin board and then just soldering everything point to point on it. Since I was planning to build a pair of these for myself, I just built two power supplies in one chassis. There were four main aspects of the mic which I was playing around with: the capsule, the tube, the transformer, and the capacitors. Every time I'd make a change, I'd go do a number of recordings and then compare and see what differences I got. This is the design that I ended up with. While you could copy this exact design, I'd encourage anyone interested to do their own tests and refine it to the sound that they're after. I found this to be a much higher end mic compared to the Mojave and what I remember of the Howard mics. This is mainly because of the capsule that I ended up using. I tested a number of cheaper Chinese capsules, a Maiku capsule from Switzerland, and a Bee's Knees capsule from Australia. For the tubes, I didn't have much of a choice, so I was only able to try out Raytheon and Sylvania. For the transformer, I tried the Jensen, which was originally spec'd in the Royer mod article. I tried an AMI, a custom Cinemag, but I ultimately ended up going with a custom transformer from Misanovic Microphones. The interesting thing about this transformer is that it's toroidal, and you rarely see toroidal transformers in microphones. As far as the caps go, I tried around 30 different caps from various manufacturers with a number of different values. This includes Solin, Sonicap, AudioCap, Multicap, a number of NOS Russian ones, and various Mundorf series. The last thing I did was painting these mics a nice blue. I should point out that I use enhanced audio mounts, which you can see in pictures of the Howard mics, as well as custom cables, both of which do make a substantial difference. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look through this project. Feel free to send me any questions.